The time when my crazy neighbor harassed me and called the police on me. As soon as he came back from his fresh air, that's when everything went down. Like, literally, he was knocking on the wall, knocking on my door, knocking on the wall, knocking on my door. This was happening throughout the night, throughout the early hours in the morning. He wasn't stopping, just constant knocking on the door, knocking on the wall, knocking on the door. I just hear him doing something outside my door. And I'm just like, what is he up to? I don't want to open the door just in case he tries to kill me. He tries to do something to me. He tries to harm me. He literally kept me up all night. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 24 hours, bro. On the paper note, it said, if you want your WAP sucked, give me 3 knocks. 48 hours passed by and no police officer showed up. No police officer called to check up on me to see if I was okay.
We love Benny McCauley. Hello, cutie.
Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Fats and I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I hope you guys are having a blessed weekend. I hope you guys are staying safe because it ain't safe out here in these streets. Before we start with this video, please make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys turn your notifications on so you can be notified every time I post a video and y'all do not want to miss my videos. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time, and this particular story time just happened last week. This particular story time is about the time when my crazy neighbor harassed me and called the police on me. Yes, can you believe it? This man called the popos on me. Little old me. You know, minding my business, drinking my water. Before I start with the story time, I just want to make it clear that I'm not trying to make light or mockery on mental health or mental illness. I'm just simply trying to explain on what really happened. I'm still trying to recover from what happened last week because honestly, last week was a lot for me. Last week was so traumatizing. Like, it was a traumatizing experience and I'm still trying to recover from that experience. All I'm gonna say is, if I didn't call the police or I didn't let anybody know about the situation, that situation could have gotten a whole lot worse. God knows what would have happened to me. This particular story time happened last week on Tuesday. You know, I was minding my business. It was about 10:15 p.m. at night. I was minding my business. I was in bed chilling. I was about to go to bed. And you know, I was on my phone minding my business, and then where I live in my flat, the walls are very thin. Okay, you can literally hear everything. So you know, I'm in bed chilling and all of a sudden I hear my neighbor like in so much distress. He sounded really upset. He was talking on the phone. He was telling this person his address, and you know, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what else he was saying to this person, but I couldn't really hear clearly on what he was saying. But all I remember is the fact that he was just telling that person his address. Few minutes go by and the police showed up in the building. They come upstairs, they knock on my neighbor's door, and you know, they're like, it's the police. And this man was literally like, they were like, you know, what's going on, what's happened? And obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I was being nosy. I literally put my ear by the wall and like, I was just in so much shock. Like, I was literally lost for words on what he was saying, because this man literally said to the police that me and another neighbor keep knocking on his door and we keep playing the radio. Hello? What? Wait, hold on. Is this man for real? Who's knocking on your door? Mind you, I don't know this man. I've never knocked on his door. I don't even have a damn radio. I'm either shipping out my orders, I'm either recording a video, you know, I'm either doing a food shop in Aldi. Like, I mind my business, okay? I mind my business. I'm either at work. So then the police officers ask him, why would they be knocking on your door? And he goes, I don't know. The police officers ask him, do you have any illnesses? Do you have a condition? He said, I'm bipolar. The police officers then ask him, what medication are you on? He shows them the medication. I'm not too sure what the medication was. And then the police officers asked him, have you told the landlord about this? He paused. I don't know how to tell him about it. So then the police officers said to him, you need to tell the landlord about this so the landlord can speak to them, or he can rehouse you. Literally, he goes, this is the flat number and the other flat number. Basically, my flat and my other neighbour's flat. So the police officers knock on my door and knock on the other neighbour's door. Obviously, I didn't open the door because why should I open the door? I ain't done nothing. I ain't touched no one. I didn't knock on anybody's door. So yeah, I didn't open the door, and then they knocked again and I didn't open the door. They knocked on my other neighbour's door. They didn't answer either. Can you imagine my crazy neighbour said to the police, can you go into their flat? The police officer said, we can't go into their flats. That's invading their privacy and they haven't committed any criminal offence. I was like, come on, you better tell him, this crazy man out here causing trouble. But then after that, my crazy neighbour asked the police officers, could I go outside because I need fresh air? He went outside. The police officers were like, yeah, that's fine. You can go and get fresh air. So they all went outside. He ended up going outside to get fresh air. And obviously I'm on panic mode. I'm like, listen, what is going on with this man? Like, he out here causing trouble, trying to get me into trouble, little old me into trouble. I didn't even do nothing to him. I never knocked on his door. I switched my light off and I went to bed. As soon as he came back from his fresh air, that's when everything went down. That's me thinking he's about to go into his flat. This man didn't go into his flat. This man was knocking on my door 3 times, knocking on my wall 3 times. He was, where my bed is where he was knocking on the wall. Like, literally, he was knocking on the wall, knocking on my door, knocking on the wall, knocking on my door. This was happening throughout the night, throughout the early hours in the morning. He wasn't stopping. Just constant knocking on the door, knocking on the wall, knocking on the door. Listen, I was fearful for my life. Literally outside my door. Okay, I don't know what he was doing, but he was just standing there and just listening. I was like, oh my god. Like, I was just lost for words. I was like, what is he doing? Like, what is he up to? Like, I was literally lost for words and I was literally in so much distress. I was like, bruh, what is this man doing? I just hear him doing something outside my door. And I'm just like, what is he up to? I don't want to open the door just in case he tries to kill me. He tries to do something to me. He tries to harm me. I just wasn't about to open that door. So I was in bed this whole time. I hear something ripping and then he's doing something. And it turns out this man was putting a paper note under my door. Okay. So I didn't get up to see what was, I didn't listen. And at that point, this was like at 3:45 in the morning. This man put a paper note under my door. I didn't get up to get it because I wasn't about to get up and get that paper. I was literally like, hell nah. So I just left it there. At that moment, I didn't realize that he actually put a paper note under my door. I just thought this man is trying to do something. He's trying to get in or do something, right? So fast forward, you know, time's flying by. It's still early hours in the morning. I haven't slept. I'm in so much distress. He literally kept me up all night. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 24 hours, bro. I got up and then, you know, I was literally, I walked over there just to like, I don't know what I was trying to do, but I literally walked up and then I look to the left where the door is and I looked down and I saw a paper note. I said to myself, I'm not going to get that paper. I'm going to wait till like, later on, then I'll get the paper. So I went back to bed. I'm trying to go to sleep. I can't go to sleep because where my bed is, my guy is knocking on the wall, just knocking on the wall. And he had a pattern where he was knocking on the wall 3 times. It was just going on and on and on and on and on and on throughout the whole morning. I couldn't get to sleep. I tried listening to the Quran. I was listening to Yasin, trying to get myself to sleep. none of that was working because I was in so much fear. I was in so much fear, and every time when I tried to fall asleep, I couldn't fall asleep because this man was knocking on the damn wall. Every time I tried to move, like from my bed, when you're moving that side and that side on your bed, he would knock on the wall. That's how I knew he was listening. 6 a.m. in the morning, right? 6 a.m. in the morning, I needed the toilet. I went to the toilet. I came back. I picked up the paper note. I pick up the paper note. There's me thinking the paper note must have said, help me, crying for help or something. Oh, hell nah. The paper note didn't say none of that. Guys, when I opened the paper note, I was disgusted. I was traumatized. I felt sick to my stomach. I'm not even sure if I can even say on here what the paper note said, but I'll make it as clear as possible. On the paper note, it said, if you want your WAP sucked, give me 3 knocks without the W and the A. Now, if you don't know what WAP is, listen to Cardi B's new song, WAP, with Megan Thee Stallion. Then put 2 and 2 together. I put the note away, I kept it on the side, and there's me, my mind's going crazy. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether or not to tell the landlord. I don't know whether or not to tell the police. I've never been in this situation before. And I just was in froze mode. I didn't know what to do. At 8 o'clock in the morning, this man knocks on my wall. Okay, he knocks on my wall, just constantly knocks on my wall. He goes to me, hello, hello, hello. I'm calling the landlord right now. I'm going to call the landlord. Throughout this whole situation, I didn't say a word to him. I didn't do nothing to him. I didn't even go near him. But this man just felt the need to harass me this whole time. So then he proceeds to call the landlord and he goes, oh, are you coming? Are you coming? Oh, okay. Are you 3 minutes away? Oh, okay. Have you told the police? Oh, make sure you tell the police. So at that point, I was like, oh, you're trying to get rid of me. You're trying to get rid of me. Oh, okay. So at that point, I called the police. I told the landlord what happened and I called the police. I called 999, told them what happened, told them the situation, and they seemed concerned. They seemed like they wanted to help and they wanted to make sure, I was safe. And then they go to me, oh, we'll make an appointment for you on Friday. And I was like, Friday? Did you just hear what I just said to you? I was like, I need someone to come now. And they were like, okay, let me check again. And then they were like, okay, we'll get someone to come to you. We'll get a police officer to come to you, but it's going to take up to 8 hours. I was like, for God's sake, 8 hours? I could be dead in 8 hours. What is wrong with these people? So then I was like, okay, cool, whatever, right? But let me just tell you something. Throughout that whole day, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't get to do anything. I couldn't get out of the house. Listen, I was trying to throw trash outside and I couldn't even go outside to throw trash. Like, it was just a mess. Like, I was too scared to even go out because I was scared if I went out of this flat, this man will come for me and kill me. Like, literally, I was like, I couldn't do nothing. I was literally in bed, sat in bed all day. And I don't like to have my day wasted. I don't like to just not do anything with my day. Like, I've got a busy routine. I've got a busy schedule. I've got to package orders, fulfill orders, ship out orders. I've got to make sure that, I've got to film videos, and next week I have to go back to work. So then the whole day passed by, no phone call from the police, nobody showed up. Literally nothing. These 999 people, these police officers, they did not have no care in the world. One police officer said to me, oh, you keep calling. We've already told you that we're going to have somebody come to you. We've got a busy line. We've got a long queue. They were so rude to me. Oh my God. They were literally so rude to me. They were like, listen, we don't have time for all of this. We've got a long queue. You keep calling. You've called 6 times. I was like, what? These people were rude to me. 24 hours passed by. No police officer showed up. Nobody called to check up on me to see if I was okay. I ended up telling my mum and my stepdad about the situation. My mom said to me, do not open the door. You know, my mom was so worried because basically I texted my mom, I texted my stepdad, and I think I texted my cousin, and I basically said to them, like, I'm currently in danger. If you don't hear from me, call 999. And my mom kept calling me, but I just kept cutting the phone on her. I just didn't pick up the phone. My mom was so worried. And eventually, as I picked up, my mom was like, I was just about to come to Birmingham to come and get you. Like, listen, I'm not about to leave this flat, okay? This man could literally do something to me. I said to myself, I ain't going nowhere. Why should I go? I pay rent here. So no, I ain't going. Because even if my mom come and got me, it's not going to change the situation. The situation will probably get worse when I come back. And on top of that, I've got work next week. I can't have my man be knocking on the wall and knocking on the door throughout early hours in the morning. Like, people have jobs to go to and bills to pay. Like, no, it ain't happening. He's gotta go. He is gonna go. Then the next day comes by. I literally wasted 2 days of literally not doing anything because I was scared for my life. I was waiting for these police officers to come and nobody showed up. No police officer showed up the next. At this point, I was irritated, I was distressed, I was annoyed, I was angry, I was upset, I was scared for my life because at this point, I'm literally like, what the hell? Like, am I talking to the wall? I called the police officers again. I literally called them throughout the whole day the next day. No police officer showed up the next day. Just kept saying, we'll come as soon as possible. We'll find someone to come as soon as possible. We've got a long queue. One of them gave me attitude, was like, you've already called us. And I was like, yeah, I have. Because nobody showed up. I couldn't do none of the things that I was supposed to be doing throughout those 2 days. 48 hours passed by and no police officer showed up. No police officer called to check up on me to see if I was okay. And at this point, I had enough. I was like, listen, a police officer is gonna come today. Somebody is going to come today to get this man out of this building. I called my cousin. Well, my cousin called me and she goes, have they showed up? And I'm like, no, they haven't. I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know what to do. I've told them, like, literally, I was like, I don't know what to do. I've told them what happened. They're not listening to me. They're giving me attitude. They're literally, like, not taking me seriously, and I don't know why. And my cousin said to me, you need to be firm with these people and you need to literally explain the seriousness of this issue, okay? You need to go off on them because they're not going to listen if you just like, oh, I'm trying to report a harassment incident. Like, no, they're not going to listen to that. You need to say to them, what is your complaint procedure? Because I want to make a complaint. And you need to go off on them. That's the only way they're going to come. The day after, this was the third day. Imagine this is the third day. I wake up to a banging. I don't know what he was banging, but he was banging something. So I was like, no, I've had enough. So I called them again and I literally went off on them. This female police officer couldn't even get a word in because I was literally going off on her. I said to her, I was like, I reported a harassment incident a few days ago and nobody called to check up on me to see if I was okay. Nobody came to see if I was okay. Nobody came to sort out the issue. Like, this man has been knocking on my door, knocking on my wall, leaving a paper note, leaving a paper note under my door, literally standing outside my door at early hours in the morning, literally harassing me. He's kept me up throughout the whole night. I haven't slept in 48 hours. I live by myself. I am fearful for my life. I'm scared. I'm in distress. And nobody showed up. Nobody called to check up on me. You people are people of authority. You're supposed to protect us and make sure that we are safe. And nobody bothered to do that. You guys have failed to do that. Would you want that for your niece, for your nephew, for your mom, for your daughter? Would you want this situation to happen to them? Like, this is very serious and you guys are not taking it serious. Like, this man is having a manic episode. He hasn't taken his medication and he keeps disturbing me. He keeps harassing me and nobody has showed up to check up on me. With the paper note that he left me, he could literally kick the door in and sexually assault me. Like, he could literally kick the door in and hurt me. He could literally kick the door in and harm me. And nobody showed up to check up on me. If he hurts me, kills me, or sexually assaults me, it will be on you because you guys have failed to protect me and keep me safe. Oh, I was going off one. The woman was mute. Nothing to say. The police will come to your flat today. Just make sure you stay indoors. I was like, listen, I've been hearing this for the past few days. Stop telling me that a police is going to come as soon as possible, or the police is going to come today. What time is this? What time are they going to come? Oh, I was going off on her. She had nothing to say. The nerve. And then she was like, no, honestly, ma'am, we're going to make sure that somebody comes today. Tell me why within an hour these police officers showed up. I understand maybe the way I explained it, it just didn't seem as serious. But at the end of the day, I just felt like I reported a harassment incident. Surely that should be a high priority. But they put it as like the bottom of the priority. They put me the bottom of the list. When my neighbor was talking to my landlord saying that, oh, are you gonna come? Are you 3 minutes away? Are you gonna call the police? It turns out all this time, this man wasn't talking to anyone on the phone. He was talking to himself. He was trying to scare me away. And he was pretending to call the landlord to tell him to come and basically get the landlord to call the police. I was like, oh, you were trying to get rid of me. Oh, hell no, you are going to go today. You will go today. The police showed up. They showed up to my door. And let me just tell you, they showed up to my door, and I'm not gonna lie, when the police officers came, they were really, really lovely. But when they came to my flat, as I was about to explain to them what actually happened, there's me like explaining what actually happened. One of the police officers stopped me from talking. He was like, hold on 1 minute. And then this crazy neighbor was literally knocking on the wall. As the police officers were literally present, this man, as the police officers were present, this crazy neighbor was literally knocking on the damn wall. And I was like, oh my God, like, and they were like, is that him? It is him, because he's bare knocking on the wall. So I was like, I've got a strong case here, sorted. So there's me explaining what happened, explaining the whole situation. I told them everything, and as I was about to give them the evidence with the paper note, I was literally shaking. And then one of the police officers were like, are you okay? You're shaking. And I'm like, yeah, because I haven't slept for 48 hours, and also because he's kept me all night and I've been scared for my life. And he goes, it's okay, we're here now. And they were trying to like, they were really lovely. They were really, really nice. And basically he was just explaining what they were about to do. Basically, the police officers gave me some options. They were like, do you want us to have a word with him, or do you want us to arrest him? And basically charge him. So I was like, yeah, you need to take him. I said to them, yeah, you can arrest him. You can arrest him and you can take him away. Because at the end of the day, it's not fair on all of us. We're out here disturbing people, calling the police on people for no damn reason. Listen, I ain't disturbed you or nothing. You've got issues, my brother, and you need help, and you need to go. The landlord was aware of what happened. Well, the landlord was literally like, he basically said, this is disgusting, this is disturbing, and I'll make sure that he basically is out of the flat, basically. He was like, I want him out. I'm gonna make sure and try and get him. He basically was like, I want him out, and I'm gonna try and get him out of the flat permanently. I'm gonna call him right now. He called him, he wasn't picking up the phone. He said to me, the landlord said to me, you need to inform the police about this, because that's the only way he's gonna get out of this flat. He said that he was on the phone to you. He goes, no, he wasn't on the phone to me. He didn't call me. I tried to call him, but he's not picking up. But he's lying. He never called me up to say what happened. The police are here. They basically went to his door, knocking on his door, asking him to open the door. He wouldn't open the door. They were literally outside for like half an hour to 45 minutes. He wasn't trying to open the door. And I'm like, big man, you were out here knocking on my wall, knocking on my door, and now you don't want to open the door. Open the damn door. They were literally banging on the door, knocking on the door, and he wouldn't open the door. They even said to him, if you don't open the door, we're going to kick the door in. And he still didn't open the door. They ended up getting into his flat, and literally before all of that, the police officer said to me, make sure you lock the door just in case if we get him out he tries to do something. They went into his flat, did a whole, checking up his room, check up on his flat, looking under the bed, on his drawer, toilet, kitchen, everything. And it turns out this man knew that the police were coming because he moved his wardrobe where he was knocking on the wall. Basically, he was trying to cover himself up. They said to him, "You're under arrest for harassment." And he was like, "Harassment? I never harassed anyone." And he was like, "Oh, I was asleep throughout this whole time." They were asking him questions about his medication. And they basically said to him, "You need to get your stuff and get out." And they did. They got him out. And she was trying to be nosy. I peeped through the hole, you know, the small circle hole by the door. And he was looking rough as hell. He didn't look right. He looked rough. He looked like he hadn't slept in weeks or something. They took him to the station. They took him to the cell. The police came back. They took my statement. They were very supportive. They were very supportive. They made sure that I was okay. They made sure that they would let me know everything. But yeah, that was it. So he's not in the flat anymore. Yeah, it was just a lot, but to be honest with you, that situation was a traumatic experience and I'm still traumatized from it. I'm still like shook about the situation. I'm still shook about the experience. I'm trying to move on from it. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this story time. Comment below. I hope you guys enjoy the story time. Please don't forget to subscribe and I shall see y'all on my next video. Bye.